Hi Mummer Fanatics, this is Mikey Cap, and today we're going to be interviewing John Riecky from Satin Slipper.
Hi, John Riecky, been a member for Satin Slipper for 63 years. Missed 1 year, paraded every year with them, and it's been a pleasure.
Mr. Riecky has been around in Satin Slipper since day one.
It was tough at the beginning because we all went out comic as kids. We made our own suits and all. And Chick Veazey, who started the club, always was into being fancies, him and his father. And there was only 20 of us, and we had to scrounge up enough guys to make a brigade at that time. And our clubhouse was, actually we didn't have a clubhouse. We used Neighborhood Boys Club as our clubhouse.
Mr. Riecky knows the steps to start a new club.
Well, we were lucky. Chick Veazey was into the fancies, and he helped us really tremendous because he knew all about it. We didn't know nothing about it. We just was a comic group. We wasn't even just 20 of us together, and we decided, he decided, let's try the fancies, and that's how we became the Satin Slipper. Like we went out with, I believe it was Klein Club. Klein Club might have had 6 clubs, Oregon might have had 6, Golden Sunrise might have had 6, and that's how you went as a club. Whatever that club went up the street, you went up with them.
So where did the name and the colors come from, Mr. Riecky?
The name came from about 3 or 4 people who brought up different names, and out of the names, we picked Satin Slipper, for whatever reason we don't know, I guess. And the colors come from Chick Veazey, who, him and about 10 of the fellas who was going out were Marines, and we have Marine colors.
Why don't you tell us how the club has changed over the years?
Well, we started out at Neighborhood Boys Club, which is a Red Feather organization at Front and Queen, and we went from there to the Soup House. We've rented it. Any place we went to, we rented. We didn't have enough money to buy any places. So we moved quite often. And we winded up at Farmer's mother's house on Front and Titan. And from there, we went to here, where we built this building. It's the only building we ever owned. The first 2 or 3 years, we used one of the fellas' mother had a store on Front and Christian. On 2nd and Christian, and we made our back pieces and everything in his front store, and that we used his house as the, storage.
How does it feel that young people look up to you?
It makes me feel good because I think I told you I like being around the kids. They make me think young, and they are willing to do things that maybe back in the day we didn't have access to doing that. And I look up to the captains. I looked up to Chick and Johnny Bielik and Frank, Eddie Farmer, and they were our captains, and they did a lot. Captains back in the day had a lot of power, and they did a lot of the outside work, yeah. And they would pass it on naturally to guys who were a little bit handy, but they did a lot of the work, the captains.
What would you tell people that will like to start their own club?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one because today everything is money, it seems like. The costumers are not around. There used to be people who in the neighborhood, sometimes you could take your material there and they would sew and make costumes for you. But now you have to go to a costumer who was probably licensed and everything because it's a lot of money and a lot of work and time to start a New Year's club today.
How do you spend your New Year's Day?
My New Year's Day is, like you say, now at the convention center, but years ago we used to have to go get our floats out of the pier, push them up to Broad Street. But today, now we go to the convention center and do 2 shows that, it's a little tough for the club and everything, but we survive. Whenever they need it, the captain usually calls me and tells me, Rick, this is happening, or can you do this? Can we fix that? Me and a couple of the other marshals, are old timers at it, and we know how to do things like that. Yeah, anything that Townsend asked me to do or the guys asked me to do, if I can do it, I do it as good as I can. Let's put it that way. Shoes is really a funny thing. It's because everybody has different shoes. You know, some have sneakers, some have work boots, some have slippers, and we decorate them, and it's like I don't know, a good time. We all get together, have a couple of beers, and we do different things, and it works out fine. It brings us all together, let's put it that way. Everybody gets involved. Everybody can do shoes.
What advice do you have for younger members?
It's tough to survive in one club today because everybody wants to be with winners and everybody wants to move around. And just say you grow up and your brother goes with one club and you're with another club, you want to maybe be with your brother. But sometimes, you know, that's the way everybody moves. Or you want to go, or you move out of the neighborhood and you want to move closer to another club. But it's tough because every club wants to beat one another. We all are competitors in our own rights. But we're all still friends at the end, you know what I mean? After New Year's Day, everybody's down to shaking hands and hugging and everything, but that's the way it is. It started out in the comics where I went around a hall. They used to call us page boys. And you go around the hall, at that time, you might have 50 kids holding on to a captain's suit and going around the hall. And that's how I started. And they would make your suit. I went out with Proral, and you made your suit. You got measured in the morning and you picked it up in the afternoon. I missed the 1 year at 66. I do like to, and it meant a lot to me. Like I said, I was in Vietnam, and just thinking of the parade, you know, the guys having a good time and you're over there. Dad, I look at myself as just another guy who did something that I liked. And by doing that, I became a Hall of Famer. There's a lot of people who should be Hall of Famers who are not Hall of Famers. Everybody can't be a Hall of Famer naturally, but there is a lot of fellas who should be Hall of Famers. Oh, the goal is, if you get it, it's an honor. If you don't get it, you just keep on parading.
Well, that's the wrap. Looks like we're about to dive into a fish tank this year. We are 12 clubs in one family. Stay tuned, everybody, and peace out.